Hello, ni hao, bonjour, konnichiwa, hola, habari, mulishani, and wagwan. Welcome to Beyond Borders podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Dr. Charity Campbell Capella, known in the travel space as Dr. the Explorer, but mostly known as Dr. CK. Here at Beyond Borders, I share transformative travel experiences and cultural insights and help you see that cultural intelligence touches every part of our lives. Now join me as we set out on a journey of cultural discovery and self-reflection. From hilarious travel tales to eye-opening cultural revelations, I'm here to nourish your mind and inspire your soul. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or an armchair adventurer, each episode is packed with aha moments that'll reshape your worldview, practical tips to boost your cultural IQ and your life, inspiring stories that'll make you want to pack your bags, and maybe even a few doctora jingles along the way. So, buckle up, babes, because if you're ready to shatter cultural barriers, ignite your global mindset, and unlock the hidden corners of your own identity, then hit that subscribe button now and get ready for a mind-bending, perspective-shifting, soul-awakening adventure as we blast off to go beyond borders. Hey, empowered explorers, welcome back to Beyond Borders. It's your girl, Dr. CK, your cultural intelligence consultant, travel enthusiast, and guide to exploring the world boldly. Now, if you're new here, welcome. If you have been traveling along with me on this 8-part journey into how travel shaped my cultural intelligence, then you already know we're going deep. So today is part 6 of our series, and we're talking about something that I believe travel truly revolutionizes in a person, and that is cultivating independence and self-reliance. Now, listen. There's nothing quite like being out in the world, far from everything familiar, to teach you how strong and capable you really are. Now, for me, I am a born-again believer and a Christian, so I just want to say for any other Christians that are listening to this episode, when you hear me say self-reliance, I'm not saying that we haven't relied on God, because first of all, I might have been a solo traveler, but He was always with me every step of the way. So I'm not saying independence or self-reliance as if I never needed the Lord or I never had Him with me. We're not going there. It's not that type of party, okay? If you know me for real, then you know that, I'm a total Jesus lover, and it's a non-factor, okay? When I'm talking about independence and self-reliance, I mean breaking away from everything familiar back at home, family, friends, lifestyle, job, everything, to really go beyond borders to discover more of who God created you to be. So grab your earbuds and a cup of tea or your favorite latte. It's the month of November, so autumn is still popping. Go and get your chai latte, get your pumpkin spice, whatever it is that you want, and let's get into it. So when you travel solo, or even if you're just in a completely unfamiliar environment, you quickly realize that you have to rely on you. There's no calling a family member all the time or a bestie to come to the rescue when you're lost in the middle of Seoul, South Korea, or trying to figure out the metro system in Paris. Lord have mercy, y'all. That right there. Whew. You have to problem solve on the spot. For me, that realization hit hard when I first arrived to China. Last week I talked to you about my first solo taxi experience. Well, When I first arrived in China, I moved there to teach. And on my very first night, I got lost while trying to find my way to the provided apartment that the company had for me. So it was supposed to be within walking distance. So here I am, I'm walking around trying to find my way. And my Mandarin was practically non existent, and my anxiety could have been at an all time high. But after taking a few deep breaths, praying, and relying on Google Translate to communicate, adding in a mixture of hand gestures, broken Mandarin, and sheer determination, I arrived safely. And that experience ignited a newfound confidence in my ability to handle the unexpected. So, listen, moving to China in itself was about embracing and navigating the unknown. And the takeaway that I could give you from that was every time that you successfully navigate an unfamiliar situation, your sense of independence and self-reliance grows. That's what kept happening to me. It was like I was proving to myself that all the negative things that others were saying about me moving to China, that it was false. I had to prove to myself before I needed to prove to other people. That was why I went to China. So honestly, it was amazing because I had to learn to not only trust God, but to trust myself and my ability to adapt. And that's the takeaway from that story that I want you to get, is that every time you successfully navigate an unfamiliar situation, your sense of independence and self-reliance grows. So just learn to trust yourself and your ability to adapt to unfamiliar environments. Now, another way travel builds self-reliance is by forcing you to make decisions, often with incomplete information. Lord, have mercy. Listen, should you book that train ticket to Naples or should you take the overnight bus? Come on, 2017, when I was flash packing through Europe. Should you stay at this hostel or should you splurge on a nicer hotel in the Philippines? Like, you become the captain of your own journey, and every decision is a test of your intuition and resourcefulness. You know, when I was in Johannesburg back in 2020, not the last time, 2023, not 2023, but in 2020, when I was in Johannesburg, I decided on a whim to take a day trip to Soweto. It was a split-second decision, but it led to one of the most transformative experiences of my life, immersing myself in a culture that was so rich and vibrant that I was left in awe. And it taught me to embrace the unknown and really trust my gut, trust my intuition. And again, for Christians, trust the leading of the Holy Spirit, okay? I had to learn to do all of those things and to make sure that I wasn't allowing fear of the unknown to overtake me, because that's usually what happens. So instead of having fear of the unknown, I had to hug it. I had to bear hug it and embrace the unknown and begin to trust my intuition. Now, cultivating independence isn't just about solving problems. It's also about being comfortable with your own company. Being comfortable by yourself. You know, Beyonce, me, myself, and I, that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. Okay, she might have been talking about friends, relationship, all that stuff like that, but let me tell you something. When you travel, you spend a lot of time alone, eating meals alone, exploring new cities alone, dealing with setbacks alone. And that's a good thing. It teaches you to enjoy your own presence, reflect on your own experiences, and truly grow as a person. When I moved to Dalian, and if you haven't heard me sing the praises of Dalian, China, trust me, you will. Okay. I lived in Dalian for 3 years and it became my absolute favorite city in the entire country. And I often spent early mornings, like before my university classes would begin, and afternoons, like probably, I guess you wouldn't really call them afternoons. They would be like early evenings, right? I spent a lot of time exploring the beaches alone. Now, let me tell you something. When you're in China, you are never by yourself. There's people everywhere, always, all the time. But it was my decision to go alone instead of like going with the group and being like, hey guys, I'm going to the beach. Anybody want to come? Because you have that a lot with expats. And it's great because you build community, you build connections. But I also appreciated my solo time, my time to reflect. And so those moments of solitude where it was just me, the sound of the ocean, man, it were some of the most enriching times of my life. And also it brought a lot of clarity. There were times when I would just go sit and pray, walk along the beach. I mean, I absolutely loved it. And I learned to find joy in simple moments. They weren't these big grandiose moments or anything like that. They were simple moments. And that self-reliance was a powerful gift. So let's wrap this up with some key takeaways from today's episode. First, travel builds independence by teaching you how to navigate the unknown and to trust yourself. Second, it empowers you to make decisions confidently, even when the path isn't clear. And finally, solo experiences cultivate self-reliance and a deep appreciation for your own company. Listen, I want to thank you for listening to Beyond Borders podcast. I can't express my gratitude enough. It humbles me to know that you tune in every week to learn from me. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Beyond Borders podcast, download today's episode, rate, comment, and share so we can ignite a cultural revolution all across the globe. I also invite you to connect with me on YouTube, Pinterest, and my newest adventure, Substack. Let me know what kind of cultural insights and travel experiences you'd like to see more of. Also, if you have any questions or would like to be a guest on the show, please email me at charity@drtheexplorer.com and someone will respond in a timely manner. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, remember to keep your mind open and your suitcase ready. See you in the next episode as we go Beyond Borders.